Having financial troubles? Well, none of us have as much money as we would like. But how do you know when you're in real financial difficulties? Hi, I'm Michael Bateman with Fort Knox Federal Credit Union, and today we're going to take a look at the 5 top signs that you may have financial problems. The country's economic hard times have prompted problems for just about everyone. One of the first signs of financial trouble is how much money you and your family save. In 2008, personal savings rates in the U.S. hit their lowest rate since the Great Depression, actually falling into the negative category, according to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. That means Americans were withdrawing more money from their savings than they were depositing. However, by May 2009, the household savings rate had improved, going back up to 6.9%, the highest level since 1993. Why is this important? As the country starts its recovery from recession, savings are needed to help stabilize the credit markets for consumers to buy homes, automobiles, and other purchases. The savings provide ready funds for emergencies as well as individual retirement planning. Ideally, everyone should save as much as they can. But in terms of targets, the rule most financial advisors suggest is 10% of your gross income. If you're saving less than 5% of your gross income, you could be headed for financial difficulties. So to help avoid financial crisis, increase your savings. Another sign of financial trouble is an incorrect credit score or one that is too low. Your credit score is a numerical ranking that goes from a low of 300 to a high of 850 and is determined in part by your payment history, outstanding credit, and total amounts owed. Lenders use these scores to predict risk. Your credit score is one of the most important factors in determining whether or not you'll get a particular loan and what interest rate you will pay. Be sure to check your credit score regularly and correct any misinformation. Also remember that any missed or late payments on any current financial obligation you have will be reflected on your credit score. For information on contacting major credit bureaus, go to Fort Knox Federal's website at www.fortknoxfcu.org. If you only pay the minimum due on your credit card balance each month or make only small payments toward the principal, you could be headed for credit card trouble. American consumers have racked up more than $880 billion in credit card debt. Such a heavy debt burden was one of the factors leading to the recession and much tighter credit requirements now. So be careful when using your credit cards. Ideally, you should only charge what you can pay off at the end of each month. When you can't pay off the entire balance each month, it's important to pay down your credit card balance as soon as possible. Otherwise, you'll pay a lot more in the long run. A person with a $5,000 balance making only minimum payments of $200 per month will end up spending more than $8,000 and take almost 13 years to pay off that debt. The fourth sign of concern might be your home mortgage payment. If you're paying more than 28% of your gross income on your mortgage, property taxes, and home insurance, it may be a problem. Why 28%? Traditionally, lenders use the 28% threshold because the average homeowner can usually meet their mortgage payment at that level and still afford a reasonable standard of living. Certainly, homeowners can spend more, particularly if they cut back on other expenses, but that can lead to financial troubles down the road. One other sign to look for is, are your bills spiraling out of control? If the balance of your monthly income after mortgage, auto loans, utilities, and grocery expenses is consumed with installment payments on everything from credit cards to various services, you could be in over your head. Go over all your monthly bills and determine what is nice but not necessary in terms of expenses that you can forego or consolidate. For example, look for package deals on cell phone, internet, and cable TV services. That could be a substantial savings. Getting control of your monthly expenses is one sure way to keep yourself on the road to financial health. Please join us again for another edition of The Road to Financial Health, coming soon.